welcome to a podcast about something where each week we dive deep into whatever it is we find interesting. I'm your host, Calvin, and joining me from the Lambda frat house, it's your co-host, Nick Richardson.
Lambda. What's happening?
That's the frat house from Revenge of the Nerds.
I have never seen Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's a little harsh in 2020 terms. It doesn't really hold up to Me Too scrutiny, but it's still pretty funny.
When did it come out?
1984.
Oh, yeah. I watched Lethal Weapon the other day. It reminded me a lot of that way. It was like, oh, okay. Different times, my guy. Different times.
Yeah, definitely. But we are here today. We're giving out college movie superlatives. I love a good college movie.
They're pretty good. I love them every once in a while. I obviously cannot watch a bajillion college movies.
No, it would have been rough to do like a binge of like a top 10 college movies to prepare for this. Like, luckily I've seen most of the ones I picked a number of times, so it's kind of just easy to go off memory, and I did some Googling to kind of fill in gaps. But yeah, it would be tough because they're all pretty formulaic and like it's the same thing almost every time. You get a party, you get some classes, you get some outrageous pranks, and then the guy gets the girl in the end.
Yeah, for the most part. They got to be really funny most of the time to really stand out. And I'm the same way. I've seen most of the ones I picked a couple of times, and then I waded through a sea of college movies where it was just like, man, I've never even fucking heard of that one.
Yeah, there's some things that I was just like, no fucking clue. So basically the only qualifier for this was the main plot has to take place at a college. It should probably only be able to take place at a college, but that's not necessarily necessary, you know, because college lends itself to a lot of interesting storytelling abilities because things happen in college that can't happen in the real world or even in like high school because students are there full time. They don't usually have jobs. They can just do whatever the hell they want. In movies, money is not an object unless it's a plot point where they have to get a side job.
Yeah. And most people are pretty. There's that too. And yeah, they all have nice cars and shit. So it's like, oh yeah, it must be some bullshit, bro. It's not how college is.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about movie college versus real world college when we get into some of these categories, but we are giving away our famous made up awards. We got 5 awards. Can't give the same award to more than one movie, and can't pick more than one movie for more than one award. No doubling up, as the kids call it these days.
As I thought that, I guess I'm a kid still, because that's what I still say.
Yeah, you're a kid at heart, Nick.
Oh, fuck yeah. You and me both, bro.
I suppose. So today, we are giving out Best Extracurricular Activity. Good college movie, always got to have extracurricular activities going on. Best Party. Again, got to have great parties in a college movie. Best Roommates. Always good for some fun. Best Prank. And the Best Random Class. A lot of college movies, they got weird classes going on that you don't normally see, like if you're just going to college.
Yeah.
They want to make college, for whatever reason, movies want to make college look more fun than it actually is.
Yeah, well, that and just more like outrageous and...
Right. Like anything can happen. Wild card.
It's college. That's how they talk you into paying $30,000 a semester or some crazy shit.
I suppose so.
Not me. I didn't fall for it, buddy.
Good for you. I think college is going to cease to exist as it is soon. Probably within like the next 20 years. Just because I don't know how necessary it is anymore. The social aspect of it is necessary to have that gap between high school and the workforce, and to like kind of try and figure out who you are away from what you were in high school and away from your parents. But at the same time, like, I took so many bullshit classes.
Oh, fuck.
And my major, like what I did in college, has nothing to do with what my job is now. And I think like more often than not, that's what people are doing, is they major in something, but then they find a job because a job is available.
And necessary for the most part.
Right. So you can't just like search out what you went to college for, or like you don't get a chance to kind of dip in and out of things in college. And it's just like, I think we're going to get more vocational, like maybe a year of general educations, and then you go into something vocational.
Yeah. More of like a tradesman centric thing.
Right. Even things like computer science, engineering, Even business classes, like those, they're all broken off from the rest of the school anyway. Like your last 2 years, you're taking just classes within your major anyways, unless you have some like gen eds that you didn't do in your first 2 years because you were lazy. Like you end up being kind of walled off into your own group anyways. So why are we paying $30,000 a year for that?
Yeah, that's fair.
Whatever. We'll see. We'll see what happens in 20 years. Get back at me.
I will find you, bro, and we will have a conversation about this.
Let's do it.
A podcast about 20 years from now.
Oh, it's a good lead.
Sounds hot.
Where do we think everything will be in 20 years? And then we'll come back 2040. We'll check in on it.
Sounds good.
We'll completely forget about it, but we'll be there for that. I'll set a reminder in my calendar, and like that, my Google Calendar is never going away. It's always going to be a part of my life, and it'll just randomly go off, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I did have a podcast 20 years ago.
That'd be awesome.
No, it'll still be going. All right, let's jump into the categories.
Let's do it.
Let's start with best extracurricular. You go first.
All right. My pick for that is best extracurricular activity is playing football. I mean, that is pretty much the dopest thing, specifically being a football star at a pretty solidly, out there college. That's Greg Janko from 22 Jump Street.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, MC
So
State
you're going to pick the
University.
Waterboys College.
No, fuck that. But yeah, I think he has a hell of a lot more fun. The majority of the movie is spent, obviously, at a college. They're going to college, and he reaches another level of like stardom and accolades and stuff like that. That's just, I don't think Bobby Boucher necessarily hit. And
I mean, he's 30 playing with 19-year-olds, so yeah, that happens.
Oh, I mean, when you put it in that context, Calvin, that makes me sound like an ass. Watch out. In 3 years, I'm going to be fucking trying out for the Fighting Illini. It's going to be dope.
I mean, you still got eligibility.
I could probably ball on some of those little 80-pound
If Chris
kids.
Winkie could do it, you could do it.
Shit. Catch me in 3 years, buddy.
I always wonder what that would be like. Like, I'm not in any shape to go back and play college sports in any way, shape, or form, but like, could I really like just attend a D3 school if I were in shape and actually play?
Probably.
I read one thing. There was some dude at like a community college. He's like 75 playing on their basketball team. He was like, legit too. Like he had, like the old man game where you just have like your spot on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could get to his spot. He could hit the J from there. Yep. And then, he held his own on defense. I watched some video on it. Like he was fine out there.
He was fine.
He's a 75-year-old. Yeah.
What if he was just like dunking on fools? That'd be fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my god. Anthony Fauci on the court. Dude's gonna be dunking on people. I bet he could fucking dunk on people. Bet.
I would highly doubt it, but who knows?
Dude sleeps like zero amount of time and barely eats. This dude's a straight up basketball star or football star like Greg Janko.
Like Greg Janko. Yeah, let's get back on track here. So we've been very deep into the fictional football universe because next week's episode is the fictional football draft, which is super exciting.
Super pumped.
Football's a great pick for an extracurricular. It's not featured in a lot of college movies usually, unless it's specifically a college football movie, like All the Right Moves, Waterboy. Shit, I don't know. There's other ones out there. But in 22 Jump Street, like you said, it's just kind of the side thing that happens. It's not a main plot mover. It's just something that Channing Tatum gets to enjoy.
No, it's definitely... I'm sorry, I don't mean to disagree with you, but it's definitely...
I haven't seen 22 Jump Street in a while, so...
I rewatched it like 6 months ago, and it's a pretty decent... That's like why him and I think Clark argue a bunch. And...
Right, I remember that. Yeah, that's true. That drives the rift between them because in 21 Jump Street, Jonah Hill's the cool guy in high school all of a sudden, and now it gets back in 22 Jump Street that gets back to it where Channing Tatum gets to be the cool guy.
Correct.
Cool guy Channing Tatum. Who'd have thunk it?
I mean, like Mike, bro. Never seen it, but...
Magic Mike.
Magic Mike, like Mike.
Like Mike is a basketball movie with Lil Bow Wow.
Please delete that.
No? I did it the other day, too. I was scrolling through, and Like Mike was on VH1 or something. I was scrolling through, I saw it, and I go, I said to my wife, I was like, hey, Like Mike's on. She goes, Like Mike? I go, oh, I thought it was Magic Mike. Because she doesn't care about Like Mike either.
Fuck, I love Like Mike.
Like Mike's great. Shout out Lil Bow Wow.
Emphasis on Lil.
All right, so my best extracurricular. I like your pick of football. I like your pick of its use in 22 Jump Street. It's a good pick.
Thank you, sir.
But mine goes to the aforementioned Revenge of the Nerds, the Greek games. Now, I'm not sure frats actually do this, but there's like this goofy decathlon during homecoming in Revenge of the Nerds, and basically they crown a fraternity champion. And I think that's a really cool idea of just like a bunch of random ass people getting in groups and getting together and competing in all these different things.
Like, what are they competing in?
Well, they have beer, like a beer tricycle race where they do a lap around the small track on a tricycle and then chug a beer after each lap.
Okay.
They do a charity bake sale as part of it.
Nice.
There's a belching contest. There's a javelin throw. And they finish up with a musical competition, which the nerds obviously dominate.
Dude, I'm there. That sounds dope.
Yeah. Like, I really have never wanted to be anywhere near becoming part of a frat. Like, not my style.
No.
But I would definitely compete in an event like this, where you're just doing all this random shit with a group of buddies.
Yeah, that's just fun.
I just love that idea of, you know, everybody coming together to compete in useless activities, and at the end of it, you crown a champion. And the champion doesn't actually mean anything. It's like fantasy football, really.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's still really, really fucking fun. You have a good time with people you like, for the most part.
Exactly. Can we create a podcasting version of this?
Dude, let's do it.
I think we need to figure that out. What does the podcasting Greek games look like? What is involved? And how do we get everyone together to do it?
Damn, that'll require some thought.
Yeah, we're going to work on that for anyone out there listening. If you got ideas, send them at us.
Yeah, let us know if you want to join.
So anyway, in the movie, the scenes of the Greek games are really fun. One of the better parts of the movie is just kind of this montage of the different events, and the nerds kind of use all their nerdliness to gain a leg up in the more athletic competitions. Like, all right, this is super harsh, but I've just got to put it out there in the way it is. One of the guys in the Tri-Lam fraternity is super gay. And he's chosen to be their competitor in the javelin competition. And like the guy from the jockey frat, he like chucks his javelin super far, right? But then the nerds design a special javelin for this guy to throw, super gay guy to throw, based on his quote unquote limp-wristed throwing style. Again,
dude,
that's just what happens in the movie. I am not trying to be offensive, but that's the kind of thing that the nerds are doing. Is they're finding ways to use their brains to gain a leg up on the more athletic competitions. In the beer tricycle race, they take like some solution before getting on the tricycle that helps them not get drunk. So they're working their brains as well as their athleticism here.
Speed. They took some speed.
Could be that.
Got hammered on the tricycles. Nice.
And then they use some, again, harsh Me Too, like not good stuff to win the charity bake sale. Really bad look nowadays, but you know, they do what they need to win. And then, like I said, they absolutely dominate the musical competition with a techno electronic rap that kind of still slaps to this day. If you do nothing else, if you don't watch this whole movie, go to YouTube and watch the I would just search Revenge of the Nerds musical competition. You'd probably find it. You're doing it right now, aren't you?
You fucking betcha I am.
Well, we're in the middle of something here.
Oh, I'm going to watch it later. I will forget if I don't type it out. But anyways, that sounds pretty tight. But, I mean, for 1984, that's pretty standard. Like, the bogus ass shit that they portray. Your limp-wristed throwing style. Are you fucking serious? That stuff just kind
of... But he wins the javelin competition.
I know. And the same way with, like, Lethal Weapon. You're just sitting there like, oh, no.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's like an uncomfortable chuckle on the inside. It's like...
Well, and so the way they win the bake sale is they, again, this is what happens in the movie, not condoning it in any way. They, at some point earlier in the film, they had set up cameras like spy cameras basically in one of the sororities houses, like the hot girl sorority house. So they got all this footage and they've got pictures and things like that from them changing and whatnot. So each pie that they sell at the bottom of the pie has a picture of a naked one of these sorority sisters. So everybody's buying the pies, obviously.
That is not cool. That's pretty
yeah, very harsh. But they win. And it would be a fun thing to compete in without doing the like completely offensive things.
The terrible shit.
Yeah. You could still compete in these games without doing all of that.
Good pick. I like it.
Yeah. So we'll come back to that podcast in Greek games at some point. We're going to get that going.
Oh, hell yeah.
You heard it here first.
Bam.
All right. So let's move on to the best party.
Ooh.
I go first here. And I'm going to point you right back to YouTube. Again, another movie you haven't seen, but you have to go on YouTube and watch this. It's the riff off from Pitch Perfect.
The riff off?
The riff off. Just while you're on YouTube there, type in riff off. Pitch Perfect. It's everything you need. I'm not really sure that I would want to attend the party here, but I would want to attend the party, but I definitely would not participate in it. But it is an awesome scene. So let's say that. Basically, what happens here is a bunch of a cappella groups get together in a big empty swimming pool for the acoustics, and the different groups have to sing songs, and then like when one of them finishes on a word, the next group has to pick up on that same word with a different song.
That'd be hard.
Yeah, it's super hard. So like, but I'd just like to be sitting on the outside of the swimming pool, drinking beer and watching. That would be really cool. We get some really classic songs, and a cappella is like a really cool thing when done well, and there's nowhere that it's done better than the original riff off in Pitch Perfect. But like also, I don't want to see a cappella done badly, right?
Oh, man, if it's bad, it's just like, shut the fuck up.
So in a movie version where everything's perfect, then it's great.
Especially Pitch Perfect.
Exactly. I like to be at a party where there's something going on rather than just like hanging around and there's a keg, you know? I need a beer pong. I need cornhole. I just need something. You know, the sweet a cappella entertainment would be great.
Hell yeah. If it's decent, I'd be sitting there for quite a while. I'd be like, oh, okay.
Well, exactly. And then maybe you get a beer pong table up on the side too, so you can play beer pong and watch the competition.
Yeah.
I'm just, that's my thought here.
And you got to win to hold the table, so
there you go.
Incentive to win.
All right. What do you got for best party?
I got the Robert De Niro party from Neighbors, because that movie was funny as fuck, first off.
See, here's my problem with Neighbors.
What's that?
I don't know that it qualifies.
How does it not qualify?
Because it doesn't happen at a college. It happens near the college.
It doesn't.
There's nothing that's happening at the actual college campus.
That's technically part of the college campus as student housing.
Is it student housing? I haven't seen Neighbors in a while. I thought it was just like, because like a lot of these frat houses are technically off campus. So I thought it was one of those deals where it's like an off campus frat house next to just another house that's close to campus.
Well, I mean, either way, don't they spend a lot of time on the college campus selling molds with their dicks? They also...
I'm going to let you swing with it because you already put it in here.
Oh, you're going to have to give me a little leeway because I think it counts. Half that plot, because they're basically trying to get them to, obviously leave because they're holding these giant parties that are keeping their little baby up and stuff, and they hate their lives. But these kids are still, they still got to go to school. So they go to the dean, yada, yada, try to get them kicked out. And it doesn't necessarily work in their favor. But the Robert De Niro party is fucking awesome. Imagine a party filled with Robert De Niro's. I'm there.
I like a good theme party. Not a huge fan of actually participating in the theme again. Like, I just want to go and see this stuff. I don't want to be a part of it. Like, I'm just the guy in the corner playing beer pong all night. Watching everybody else dress up as Robert De Niro.
I would fucking laugh my ass off just listening to people attempt to sound like Robert De Niro.
Yeah, a lot of bad De Niro impressions going around. Yeah, I could see that.
Dave Franco, though, does a pretty funny one. He's fucking hilarious. And Zac Efron as Taxi Driver, De Niro was pretty good, too. So, I mean, yeah, I'm there.
Efron's great. I really like Zac Efron. I don't know if that's okay to say, but like...
Sorry, did my silence? So, like, I was a little silent there for a second. I didn't mean to.
He's pretty good. Like, he makes bad movie choices. Like, Dirty Grandpa's not a great movie choice. Baywatch is not a great movie choice. But, like, the things that he does where he's trying are really good.
I've only ever really seen Neighbors of his that I really liked.
He's got some good stuff out there. You should broaden your Zac Efron filmography. Like, don't go to High School Musical. That's not great. But like, have you ever seen 17 Again?
No.
With Matthew Perry?
Nope.
Where Matthew Perry gets somehow turned back into 17, and when he's 17, he's Zac Efron. Like, Zac Efron's good in that.
Matthew Perry is Zac Efron when he's 17?
Well, Matthew Perry's the adult.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then he gets
Lost
like
me
Freaky
right
Friday'd back into Zac Efron.
No. I'll
No?
check it out. I mean, he's funny, so I'll check it out for sure.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. But yeah, I'm a fan of Zac Efron. I will try to watch things that he's in if they look interesting.
He nailed it in Neighbors for sure.
Mm-hmm. He did a great job. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. Another
I
not
did
a great
see that.
movie, but
Yeah.
like a good performance. See, that one should have worked because it's Zac Efron, it's Adam Devine, it's Anna Kendrick, it's Aubrey Plaza. Yeah, like that's a great. Those four should just be able to pretty much do anything together.
Adam Devine tanked it. Same.
Yeah. Okay, so the riff off versus the De Niro party. That's a good clash right there.
I'm going to De Niro party for sure.
Well, obviously,
if you don't know what
did.
that is, go YouTube.
Of course, you haven't seen the riff off, so.
Well, I'll watch it directly after this, followed by the De Niro party.
All right, so now we move on to best roommates, and we've got a Twitter poll for the best roommates category. So we want to know who your favorite college roommate is. The options were Frank the Tank from Old School, Bluto from Animal House, Kimmy Jin from Pitch Perfect, and then other. So Frank the Tank wins by a landslide with 50%.
Damn.
Bluto coming in second with 37.5%. Other got 12.5%, and poor Kimmy Jin got 0%.
Yeah, it's because it's Pitch Perfect.
No, I've got an issue
bro.
with this because Kimmy Jin is the perfect roommate.
Nah.
You've never seen the movie, so you can't comment.
You shut the fuck up right now. Shut up.
She hates Becca, the main character played by Anna Kendrick, and like makes these little snide comments anytime they're in the room together. But most of the time, she's not in the room with Becca. Like, she don't want to fucking be there at the same time as Becca. And to me, that's a perfect roommate because then I get the whole room to myself whenever I want.
Yeah, and if you really want the whole room to yourself, just walk around like with really short shorts on or something, and your roommate will just stay in his room the whole time. Not saying
If
I've
you're a
ever done
man, I don't think it works the same for girls.
that. Well, I mean, really long.
I'm sure there's something
pants.
offensive you could do towards your roommate. Yeah. So let's go to our comments. We got the Ocho Duro Parlay Hour at OD Parlay Hour gives a vote for Bluto from Animal House. Have you seen Animal House?
I have not seen Animal House.
Yeah.
I'm a piece of shit. I know.
That's another one that that does not hold up even close. Like Revenge of the Nerds, most of the humor still holds up. Animal House, even the humor kind of misses nowadays.
Yeah, I mean,
there's some funny parts, but it's not like I wouldn't really say go out of your way.
Yeah, it's a thing of its era.
Yeah. I understood that reference at Cap Understands. Interesting question. How about Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc? I'm not bunking up with them, man. They're scary.
Hell no, they'd be dope. They're lovable.
I feel like they'd be like, Mike would be shedding all over the place. Or, Sully would be shedding all over the place. Mike would be telling bad jokes the whole time. I'm not seeing it. Then we got another one.
Fun.
Georgie Romero is done. Romero is done for Randall from Monsters Inc. or Monsters University.
Nah.
Yeah,
he's creepy.
He's actually scary, and he can turn invisible and shit. No,
I feel like he'd do that and be like standing in the bathroom while you're taking a shower.
Yeah,
creepy shit like that.
Not having it, Randall. Friends and Flayers at Friends and Flayers. See if you can guess what I am now. I'm a Zet. Get it? Which that's a line from Bluto and Animal House. And then he's got a bunch of mashed potatoes in his house. There's a gif there. He's got a bunch of mashed potatoes and he smashes his lips. Yeah. And then we got the cinematic _ blind spots at cinematic B spots. We got Frank the Tank. We're going streaking.
We're going streaking.
Great film.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone who participated in the weekly poll. That's at APA something. We usually try and do a poll every week. We got maybe some new promotional materials coming soon. But the polls will still be there too because we like polls.
And a lot of new people, it sounds like, have responded this week. So thank you for responding, people.
Mostly new people.
Yeah, we hope you stick around.
Cool. So, Nick, who was your best roommate?
My best roommate is a gentleman by the name of Casey from 21 and Over from 2013.
Solid
Um,
movie.
yeah, it's pretty solid. I gotta say, I haven't gone back and rewatched
It's
it.
not really a rewatcher, but like it's not a waste of the hour and 45 minutes that it takes.
No, definitely not. But I mean, I think he's definitely gives a shit about his fellow roommates, and I mean, obviously, you see what he does with his buddy Jeff. You know, takes care of him, makes sure he tries to, at least. He tries to do the right thing. He tries to be the responsible one. You know, so I would be, if he was my roommate, I think that would definitely like push me to not do so much stupid shit. I wasn't really a very like reckless person. You know, when I went to college, I obviously went to community college, so the big difference. But I just didn't really hang around with a lot of reckless people like I saw a lot of people do in college, and I think I did okay. So I think
I
this
didn't realize
guy,
Miles
as a
Teller
roommate,
was in that.
yeah, and he was not Casey. That's
No, the
definitely,
Skylar Aston is Casey. He's also in Pitch Perfect. So there you go. Now you got
is he
another
really?
reason.
I feel like I
Yes.
haven't seen him in anything in years.
He had a sitcom on TBS for like a year and a half too.
He's probably got plenty of money.
Yeah, he's fine. Also, Jerry Gergich's daughter in 21 and Over.
Millicent?
Yes, Millie.
Do not recall. Huh. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she's
my
like
pick.
the girl, the one girl in the movie.
I don't remember her face, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
She's very plain.
I was trying to look for a way to fit 21 and Over in here because like it's just a solid college movie, but it just, to me, it didn't do anything best. But I like where you're going with where your head's at of picking the responsible roommate.
Oh, hell yeah. He would clean up after himself. You know, obviously, he probably bathes regularly and doesn't stink like shit. I mean, those are all huge pluses if you're going to college.
I went the opposite way here,
Hit me.
and I went with Frank the Tank Rickard from Old School.
Oh, shite.
So Frank the Tank is going to be super annoying as a roommate, but
Well, yeah.
he's also the best type of roommate to have around when you have a party or when you go to a party, because he takes any and all attention off of you, and anything that's like wrong with your living quarters, like if there's a mess, people are just going to assume it's his fault, right?
True.
So you never, like, to other people, you never have to take credit for anything that's going on in whatever your living situation is. He's also like this great conversation starter because he's always doing stupid shit. So it gives you that little bit of an in with a girl or just with somebody else to be like, look at this fucking guy, right?
Yeah. Hey, you want to watch my roommate do something stupid? Tune in.
You can get those really easy jokes off to start a conversation with whoever's around. Plus, you want to go streaking? You got somebody there that's got your back. Faux show.
I mean, my beef is he's so fucking loud. Like, God, dude. Ugh.
Yeah. He'd be annoying.
But he's
He'd
got a good
definitely
heart.
be annoying.
Yeah,
he's got a good heart. I feel like he would do his part around the house when he's not hammered, which is important.
Which is like very minimally. He'll probably keep the living room clean where everybody hangs out. So
Right.
there's that.
He'll take his dishes from the living room to the kitchen at the very least.
Or we'll just throw them straight in the garbage. Either or.
When
Wild card.
when he's
I don't
done
know.
eating his giant bowl of cereal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would go with Frank the Tank just because like it takes attention off of me and I can kind of like project some things onto him rather than having people think that I'm a slob or whatever have you.
Yeah. I agree. That's a good
And
pick.
he's fun to have around, you know?
Oh, hell yeah.
He'd
Definitely
probably be a
be
great
endlessly
video
entertaining.
game buddy. He'd be one of those guys that you can play video games with, and you know, like if you start the night and he's kicking your ass in something, you just be like, hey, let's grab some beers, and then like 2 games later, you'll be kicking his ass the rest of the night because he'll be too drunk, but he'll want to keep playing because he thinks he's still just as good.
Be like, hey, bro, you want to put some money on this? Just
Yeah.
kidding.
Right. It's a good hustle game. Is like, oh man, you're kicking my ass. Oh hey, you want a beer? Yeah, I'll grab a beer.
Yeah.
And you
Got
take
this
him out.
good beer. It's like 12%.
All right. So, Frank the Tank and Casey from 21 and Over. Good pick. Good picks.
I like your pick.
Best prank.
Cool.
There's a lot to choose from here. Every college movie, you got to have a prank.
Big time.
It's not a college movie if there's not a prank war of some sort. I went with the colon blow prank from Van Wilder.
Oh, no.
I was very, very tempted to go with the dog pastries. And anyone who's seen Van Wilder, I'm not going to go into more detail on that. it was just too disgusting, and I couldn't call it the best because like that's like sexual assault kind of.
Yeah.
You know, you can't do that to people.
Not in this day and age, at least. Maybe back in, 84 or something like that, just spitting out a year.
2001.
Yeah.
But the laxative in someone's drink is just a classic, and it'll always get a laugh. And in Van Wilder, it's taken up a notch because Tara Reid does it to her pre-med boyfriend on his way to this important test. It's one thing to just like sneak someone a laxative at a random time, but to go the extra mile and like do it before an important event, truly diabolical. And I got to give Tara Reid credit for that.
Absolutely.
Especially like Michael Olakandi is there telling us you always got to take your pregame dump. And, pre-med Dick, he doesn't take that to heart.
Yeah, I agree 100%, considering that was definitely my pick, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the perfect revenge. It's some of it really hurt. He learned a fucking lesson for being a dickbag, and that's a fucking great one.
But it doesn't have lasting effects, right? It has lasting effects on him because it was in the middle of a test and he had to leave his test. But like the actual prank doesn't have lasting effects. Like they're not smashing your car or, like doing anything that's going to damage property.
No, and I mean he'll remember that forever.
Or your personal like perception in the world.
Yeah, well, his perception might be altered a little bit.
His will be, but people's perception of him, other than like the person giving that test, won't be.
Yeah, I mean, they'll just forget about his bitch ass.
And Van Wilder, it's one of my favorite college movies, and honestly, you could probably make the argument that Van Wilder could win every category that we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's a pretty epic one.
To me, that's what makes a great college movie. It has to hit on these 5 things. If it falls short on any of these 5 things, it's gonna fall short as a movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's like something like 21 and Over. Like, I can't remember a prank that stands out there. It's probably there, but like, and they don't really have a party. They're kind of doing bar hopping things. You don't see any extracurriculars. You don't really get a glimpse of the classrooms. So it's just like, let's take this guy out on his 21st birthday.
And get fucked up.
Yeah, which is great. It's a great, idea for a movie. It's just doesn't hit the quintessential parts of a college movie. So it doesn't rank up on the top of the pantheon of college movies, but it's got a good roommate.
Damn right.
Anything else on Colin Blow?
I really don't think so. I think that was pretty self-explanatory. She fucking gets him.
Yep. Well, at first I'm going through and I'm like, oh, Van Wilder puts and I'm like, wait, no, it wasn't Van Wilder. It's fucking Tara Reid.
Yeah, that was like her most epic moment in movie history ever. For her.
What did he do to her to deserve the Colin Blow?
Being a fucking asswipe.
Well,
pretty much.
That's it.
Yeah,
okay.
Fucking everybody over.
All right, so the final category. Dun, 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 dun. Best random class.
Ooh, yeah. This one was kind of hard to find, honestly. To like find one that I thought was the best, actually.
Right. Let's hear it.
I mean, I chose The Rise and Fall of Chevy Chase from Accepted.
Nice. I also chose Accepted, but a different class. So you go with Chevy Chase first.
They had a lot of different classes.
Yes,
but I mean, I don't really know what they obviously studied The Rise and Fall of Chevy Chase, but that would be a fucking hilarious class.
It would definitely be fun.
I don't know how much
it'd be worth it.
But oh yeah,
yeah.
It was like $50, maybe $100, which that.
Well, it's all included with your tuition. It's an elective.
Yeah, I would so do that as an elective.
Well, and then and now you add things to it. Like he was in Community. He was. That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
which he was in Community. Recently. Yeah, it's on Netflix now. I never finished. I think I finished season 5, but I never did season 6. That was like only available on the Yahoo streaming service. But yeah, I gave up halfway through season 4, which is like their lost season when Dan Harmon wasn't involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I came back to it and finished season 4, and I think I did all 5, but that was when everybody was leaving, and it wasn't really the same either.
Yeah, sometimes
the gas leak season. That's what they call season 4.
What do they call it?
The gas leak season.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The first season was just like really okay. I'm in the second season now, and it's pretty cool so far.
Yeah. Okay, so Rise and Fall of Chevy Chase.
Yeah, that's
mine. Was Common Sense from Accepted.
Common Sense from Accepted.
And like you said, this is the perfect movie to choose from, and really, I would say it's the only option. Like, it's the only movie that should be eligible for Best Random Class.
Yeah,
right?
They had a shit ton of random classes.
Exactly. Because they take the idea of college and turn it on its head, because none of these people can get into a real school. And this is where I want to take my sidebar for a second.
Hit me.
Movies and TV shows always make it seem like getting into college is the hardest thing in the world.
Right.
And that if you don't get into one specific college, there's just nothing else you can do. And I don't get it. It's like one of the most disconnected things between movies and the real world in my mind.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Because
if you got the cash, most of the time you can get into a school.
Well, but you don't even need that. Like, there's community college, there's state schools, there's like colleges with associate's degree. There's all kinds of things out there. There's vocational schools. We were watching Friday Night Lights, the TV show, and pretty much every main character that was in high school had the same crisis before they graduated, that they might not get into the college that they had their eye on. Right. And for like the kids playing football, that makes sense because, if they get injured or just perform poorly in front of scouts, like, they miss their shot at going to a big school and getting a scholarship. But all of the adults around them are always just like, you can't go into any college now. You didn't get into Texas, you can't go. And it even goes like to the other people that aren't football players. Like, there's one of the girls who wants to go to University of Texas, but she has shitty grades for most of her high school career. And then in her senior year, she like turns it on and tries to get into a good school. Right. But no one ever suggests like, well, technical schools are a thing and community colleges are a thing. You could do like 2 years at one of those and then go to Texas with transfer credits. No, that's never an option. It's just like, I've got to get my GPA up to a 3.4 or I can't get into Texas. And like, there's a million other fucking schools in Texas that you can go to.
Literally.
That are in-state tuition.
Yeah. Really cheap, you probably work around there too.
You're not getting a scholarship anyways. Like, I just don't get what screenwriters think that college is if it's like this one shot. And that's, except it does the same thing. Like, this kid gets into no schools in Ohio. I can't believe that is a thing.
Right? It's just like, what fucking school did you try for every really hard school to get into and then just like not try for whatever the shitty state school is? Right.
Like, there's always a shitty state school.
Yeah, literally. And they're usually cheaper.
They're cheaper and they're very easy to get into.
That's what I'm talking about.
There's almost no prerequisites. So anyways, Accepted is an awesome movie, and it offers an array of made-up classes, and I honestly think more colleges should try to do things like that.
Oh, dude, I agree 100%.
Like, when I say that college within the next 20 years is going to kind of get flipped on its head of what it is, I think there should be more stuff like this in college, of things that will actually help you in life outside of what you're studying to be your career,
I mean, I think that's the way they need to go, for sure.
Something like common sense. Because it's okay to learn things that aren't strictly academic. It's okay absolutely. To make the act of learning fun. And the South Harmon Institute of Technology understands that and provides this resource for its students.
I mean, yeah, 100%.
And again, to me, the best of these classes, which you can find a full class listing on SHIT's website, which still exists. That's www.southharmoninstituteoftechnology.org.
I'll have to go see that.
Yeah. There's a lot on that site still, actually. I was surprised.
That's fucking awesome.
The best one's common sense, because right now, a lot of fucking people would benefit from this class.
Yeah, a lot of people need some common sense in their lives.
And honestly, it shouldn't even be offered in college. This should be a prerequisite for graduating high school.
I agree.
Like, it's
100%.
amazing how many people you meet that can't think their way through the simplest of problems.
I mean, fuck yeah, dude. And they just strike it. A lot of times they're in like positions of power and stuff too, which is ridiculous.
And then they're just like these people who yell at somebody because they know that by yelling, they'll end up getting what they want, or at least somebody will tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
And then they can move on rather than actually like critically thinking through whatever the issue is.
I mean,
even if it's a small issue.
People. They drive me nuts.
Yeah. I'm sure you dealt with several of them at your last job.
Yeah. More than I'd like to admit.
That's it. Those are our categories.
That's it.
We gave out all the awards we have. Let's run them down again. Best extracurricular activity, best party, best roommates, best prank, and the best random class.
Right.
We had a lot of crossovers this time. We usually don't cross over.
Well, 205. I mean, that's
Yeah.
definitely a lot more
We
than
usually
that.
have 0 of 5 though, so
Right?
it's 40% increase.
But I mean, there's, like we said, there's very few really good college movies, and I think those are what stood out to us.
Yeah, and not only are there very few good college movies, the ones that we pick all stand out in one way or another, and it's hard to get they're formulaic, and it's hard to get the formula perfect, which I
Yeah.
think the ones that we picked are close to that. Except it is another great college movie that has a little bit of all of this stuff.
Yeah. I need to rewatch that again here
Plus
soon.
Justin Long singing the Ramones.
Fuck
Great.
yeah. It's been so long since I've seen Justin Long in anything either.
I just watched, what did I watch him in? Oh, I watched Zach and Miri make a porno the other day again because it's not good. But I watched it in college when it first came out, and I remembered not really liking it, but I also remembered like we watched it when there were a bunch of people at our house like drinking and just doing nonsense. So like I know I wasn't paying any attention to it. So I was like, I'll give it another try, see if it's funny. It's on Netflix. Justin Long was in that as a male porno actor and like somebody's boyfriend that was at their high school reunion.
Poor guy.
Very random role. I like
Yeah,
Justin Long. He's good in a lot
I
of
like him
things.
too. I wish he was in more stuff.
He had a run there from like probably about '06 when this came out to like 2013 where he was in a lot of shit.
Yeah, he really was.
And I enjoyed it.
Fuck yeah.
I'm
I
a
liked
Justin Long fan.
Waiting was really good too.
Waiting's good. Yep. Bartleby. All right. So, did we miss any categories?
There's a couple I had that
What do you got?
Yeah, I got.
Because I didn't think we
one,
missed anything.
there was a couple little things that I was thinking about after the fact.
Right.
One is biggest creep because there's always a fucking creep.
Oh, that's
movies.
a good one.
Another
That goes
is,
to the dude in Road Trip.
yes.
The guy that's like really creepy on Amy Smart's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's always the pretty girl, and then there's always the fucking creep.
Right.
There's always best support system was another one I think we missed.
So I think that goes with roommates, doesn't it?
Partially, some good roommate doesn't necessarily mean he's a good supportive system.
That's
person.
true. That's true. Like Frank the Tank is not a great support system.
And true. And then there's best professor,
Oh, that is a good one.
which I think that'd be tight. And then best school identity, like what is like, I don't know, South Harmon Institute of Technology. They're known for their free thought or whatever.
Right.
Yada
Yeah,
yada.
yeah.
So those were the couple that I came up with off the top of my head while I was working out and sweating my ass off. So
Do you have any nominations for any of them?
Honestly, I didn't go that far. It was just like, that'd be fun to talk about.
So Professor, I think would be fun. And a lot of people would go straight to the Animal House guy because he sits there and like smokes weed with everyone.
Yeah,
but I'm not a fan of that. No. That's a tough one. Because like I don't have any professors that stand out in my mind right now.
No, I don't either. I'm sure if I did a little research, I could.
Yeah,
probably
that would take
land
some
on
light
something.
Googling. I'm sure there's a listicle out there of best professors in movies.
Yeah, there's a list of everything.
Exactly. And then what was that last one? Best school identity.
Yeah, that'd be kind of tough to do because not
So-
all of them focus on it.
Right. You don't get enough of the school life around them. Oh, so anyway, like I didn't think we had anything more. I like best professor and I like best school identity. But I think like the 5 things that we focused on are what are most important to making a college movies. Like those are the 5 things you have to hit in some way. And if you hit them, then you're on your way to a good college movie. I don't know that a professor is necessary to make a good college movie.
I agree.
Like there has to be one somewhere, but it doesn't have to be a great one in any way.
Yeah,
And oftentimes they're a foil to the main character anyways.
Right, I agree. Most of the time they are. So yeah, that's a good point.
But they're also like there are some that they're probably right. Like the dean or whatever in Van Wilder, he's probably right. Like Van Wilder's an asshole.
Well, I mean, he's been there for fucking ever. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
move on already.
So that does take us to the final question of the night. What movie college would you most want to attend?
I kind of dropped this earlier, but I would most
Well,
definitely...
only to me. Nobody else has heard it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and the people in our Twitter group. But the South
That's
Harmon Institute of Technology from Accepted. Shit, I think they're awesome. It's an awesome school.
Shit sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. And imagine their mascot. Amazing.
I really liked Jonah Hill in this movie too, where he's dressing up as the hot dog and everything like that.
Ask me about my
My
wiener.
wiener. Young Jonah Hill was great.
He was, but he dropped like 30 pounds and he almost became a new person. It was weird.
Well, yeah, he's still pretty great. He's just great in a different way now. Like, there's nothing that lives up to like Accepted, and like he's got a small part in 40-Year-Old Virgin where he's trying to buy like those weird shoes with the goldfish in them from the sell your shit on eBay store that the lady works at. Superbad is a classic.
Fucking love Superbad.
Yeah,
I mean, it's high school still.
Yeah, that doesn't qualify here. But we'll do high school movies someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was tempted to pick Shit because it's a good school. It was my runner up because like they allow you to have a say in what your course load is. Like you said, a lot of free thought going on there, but it would be really hard to get a job with a shit diploma.
Yeah, I mean, if someone saw those initials, they'd be like, "Oh, yeah."
Right. You can't really put that seal on the top of your resume, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of debate over their actual accreditation. Like, is your diploma actually worth something if you graduate from shit?
Well, I mean, I asked the same question about like Phoenix University, but apparently it's worth something.
That's true. That's very true. I went with Coolidge College from Van Wilder. Again, Van Wilder isn't my favorite college movie for no reason. Coolidge they've got NBA talent on their basketball team as long as they can get their heads out of their asses enough to play like it. Having a deaf coach really hinders your basketball skills, I think. It's a big problem there.
Yeah, that's a big one.
There's always something going on around campus, which again, in a college movie, I like to see that. A lot of things to get involved in and ways to make new friends. A lot of college movies, they focus like too intently on one aspect of college. So sure, Pitch Perfect Barden University has some great a cappella groups, but what else is going on around campus? Same thing with Revenge of the Nerds. Frat life is very entertaining, but what are the actual classes like? Are any of these people actually learning anything? I don't know.
Yeah, is it a good college or is it just a party school?
Right. Coolidge feels like the most fully realized college, and this movie uses Van to kind of show us all of the different aspects of what makes spending 7 years in college so great. Like why you would want to. It's not all toga parties and hot girls. Classes and professors are important. Student jobs are important. Clubs and fundraisers are important. Frats are stupid. Sports are important.
Frats are stupid.
And it's all about being part of something that's bigger than yourself. And that's kind of what you were hinting at with the, like, what's a college's identity in a college movie, because that's an important part of who the characters are. Like, why are they at that college? What does the college represent for them?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that kind of makes it even more for me, at least.
Exactly. I will leave, like, this is probably my final thought of the episode. Whatever you do not watch the sequel of Van Wilder that focuses solely on Taj at some random ass British school, or the even worse prequel about Van's freshman year starring not Ryan Reynolds.
Starring not Ryan Reynolds. Is it kind of like how they changed up Stifler after a while, or like started focusing on?
Well, they used his brothers and shit. It's kind of like that, but some of those American Pie movies, like I've watched probably like the first 3 I watched, they had their moments still. Like they got the gist of what an American Pie movie was supposed to be and tried to capture that. Mm-hmm. This is just like, we're going to try and have someone who's not Ryan Reynolds be Ryan Reynolds. And that doesn't work. Like Ryan Reynolds is very unique, and he's one of the only people that can pull off the like witty, sarcastic, lovable jackass, you know?
I agree 100%.
In the way he does. About him. Yeah, he's Deadpool.
He's very unique.
Justin Long can actually do it pretty well.
Yeah, he's pretty unique too. I mean, right.
It's a little bit different way the way Justin Long does it, but like the two of them next to each other and waiting is fantastic.
So good. Yeah, because Ryan Reynolds is way more like ballsy, as Justin Long's kind of more subtle.
Right. But yeah, Justin Long's is always like kind of making the comments that Ryan Reynolds would make out loud. Justin Long's making them under his breath as the person turns around and walks away.
Right. Or just, thinking them in his head and be like, damn it, I should have said that later, or I should have said that before.
So don't watch any of the follow-ups to Van Wilder, but watch Van Wilder 100 times.
I don't know about 100 times. Maybe 2.
Van Wilder's so good.
It's pretty good. It holds up decently. I mean,
yeah, there's some rough stuff, but not nearly as bad as like Animal House or Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I'd imagine, just judging by the shit you've told me about those two movies, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah, try and watch. Don't try and watch. Like it, you could watch Revenge of the Nerds, and you'd probably have some good chuckles. Animal House, there might be like 2 things you laugh at throughout the whole movie. But definitely watch the musical competition in Revenge of the Nerds.
I already
and
got
the riff off
on YouTube. Got them both.
All right, you got anything else for college movies?
I do not. I think that's it.
Okay. That's all I've got. Come back next week for the fictional football draft. We will be going through team by team. We're going through the order of the NFL draft, team by team, and drafting fictional players to fit the team's actual needs for the 2020 season.
God, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. A lot of effort went into this. We probably missed some players because there's a lot of fucking fictional football players out there. Yeah. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. We try to stick to... Hopefully people will know some of these players at least.
There's probably some that they don't. There were some that I didn't, but I had to pick them because I needed to fill a position, you know?
True.
But it'll be fun. So listen to that.
Can't wait next week, baby.
Our Patreon's still out there, patreon.com/podcast about something. We've got our TeePublic store where you can always buy cool merchandise. That's tpublic.com, tpublic.com/APA something. And give us a review on iTunes or Podchaser. That's another one where reviews are welcome. Or CastBox. They've got reviews there too.
Any and all places where you
can leave anywhere reviews, you can leave a review that you just listened to this, leave a fucking review.
We'd appreciate it. Helps us out a ton.
Thank you to those cats for providing all of the music to a podcast about something. You can follow us on Twitter at APA something and at alone_podcast. And also thank you to those cats.
You guys stay sassy.
Stay classy.